Alrighty guys, now I've been watching YouTube videos the last couple days and I've been getting this ad for from Christopher Walker. It's supposed to give you bigger balls, top probiotic benefits of Florical 50 supplement for men. So we're going to watch this ad and we're going to react to it. So let's get right to it and see what this is all about.
I'm about to blow your mind. This is going to be a bit controversial, but it has some really important lessons. You might have heard the fact that bacteria and probiotics are the essence of life. Without them, you would die pretty early in life. But here's what I mean. Your body's made up of approximately 10 trillion human cells and 100 trillion bacterial cells. So technically, in that capacity, you're 90% bacteria. There are actually more bacterial cells in your body than there are stars in our galaxy. With that in mind, you can probably understand why having healthy bacterial flora is extremely important for your
More bacteria in my body than stars in the galaxy.
overall longevity. The first thing I want to show you is a controversial study that I learned about while studying neuroscience at Duke. It was done by a neuroscientist named John Cryan of University College Cork in Ireland. He was curious to test the stress response of mice when put into certain situations and when fed certain bacteria. So he took two groups of mice. The first group was fed a probiotic strain known as Lactobacillus rhamnosus.
What?
The second group, which was his control group, didn't receive any probiotic strains. Cryan hypothesized that the Lactobacillus rhamnosus would help with a stress response. He threw both groups into buckets of water and measured their latency to give up. There was really no way for either group to get out of the buckets. The control group, who didn't have any probiotics, would just give up. Their stress response was so high that they would swim around in circles and simply give up after 4 minutes.
Give up after 4 minutes. Kind of like my marriage.
Cryan would pluck them out of the water before actually letting them drown. He didn't let them die.
Of course.
On the other hand, the group that he fed the Lactobacillus rhamnosus to would not stop swimming. They just would not give up. While the control group was ready to die at a certain point, the Lactobacillus rhamnosus group simply didn't give up. They would just keep on swimming. Afterwards, he measured the cortisol levels of both groups. He found that the control group actually had 100 times higher cortisol levels than the group that was fed Lactobacillus rhamnosus. The latter were the ones who didn't give up. They were the ones who had actually such a low stress response that they had more energy and a direct will to live. Now this is where things get even more controversial. Cryan wanted to really test this theory that Lactobacillus rhamnosus is what caused the drastically lower cortisol levels. He severed the vagus nerve.
It sounds like a steroid. It gives you more energy to keep going. Is it like Viagra? Is that what he's trying to, is that what it's like? You know, gives you more energy to keep going. They didn't give up. I guess.
Of the group of mice that took the Lactobacillus rhamnosus, then he replicated the same experiment. He threw both groups of mice back into the water. What happened next was that both groups acted the same. They gave up after minutes of swimming. What this taught us is that there's a communication between the gut and the brain that actually lowers cortisol levels with this one strain of bacteria. While this was done in mice, humans have the same body structures as these mice did, with the same vagus nerve. We have the GABA receptors in our brain, which communicate with our gut with this strain of bacteria, so it does point to the fact that humans may have a similar result. I want to tell you about another benefit you've probably never heard of, and it's great for men. There's a certain strain of bacteria called Lactobacillus reuteri that will help you grow bigger balls. There was a study published in 2014 that used male Wistar rats. These rats have extremely similar reproductive systems as human men. This is why they're commonly used for studies in the reproductive system. In this study, the researcher found that when fed Lactobacillus reuteri, the group of rats actually outperformed the control group on many different biomarkers. And these biomarkers included preventing age-related ball shrinkage, significantly increased ball size when compared to the control group, significantly increased ball weight when compared to the control group, significantly increased T levels when compared to the control group, increased social domination when compared to the control group, increased activity of the...
Hold it right there. Bigger balls. And stop ball shrink. I've never heard of ball shrinkage. And what does it matter if your ball does shrink? When you get a certain age, you don't care if your balls shrink. Bigger balls. I think balls... I mean, I've never heard of a man complain about having small balls. Have you? This sounds like Anyway, here we go.
HPA axis, increased sperm motility, quality and quantity, and increased LH and FSH signaling. So in a nutshell, no matter what the researchers did to offset it, the group of rats that were fed the Lactobacillus reuteri always outperformed the control group in these biomarkers.
It's Viagra.
You're probably wondering the same thing as I did the first time I saw these studies. Where can I get the right probiotics? What's the best way to get the right bacteria, specifically the strains of bacteria that are great for men? And how can I implement this into my diet or my supplement regimen? In terms of your diet, a great way to get probiotics in your diet is fermented food. First off, sauerkraut, which could be just sauerkraut juice, as the liquid actually holds a lot of the bacteria itself. Another good option is a good quality yogurt. Make sure you get something organic. You also could get lassi, which is an Indian yogurt, and that's another great option. You have kefir, you have fermented cheese, pickles, fermented fish, and kombucha, which is actually a bacteria in a yeast that's brewed into a tea-like drink. One issue with this is that a lot of people don't like to eat fermented foods, specifically because of their taste. Now, another option that you have is a product that we formulated specifically for men called Fluorosil 50 by Umzu. It has the right bacteria that's going to support your male hormonal health. It includes both Lactobacillus rhamnosus and Lactobacillus reuteri. Every single capsule of Fluorosil 50 has 50 billion live organisms in it. Simply take one capsule a day and you're feeding yourself 50 billion live cultures that contain the strains that you need to keep your male hormonal health in check, lower cortisol levels, and help improve your reproductive biomarkers. Fluorosil 50 is available at umzu.com, and you can click through to learn more.
Oh my God. So there you have it, people. Get bigger balls. So that was a lot. That was a big load to take in right there. That video was. If you get what I'm saying, that was a lot to take in. That was a huge information. A lot of big words used in that video. To me, it sounds like Viagra. That's what it sounds like to me. They last longer. You get bigger balls without saying you get a bigger. I don't know anybody that wants bigger balls. Maybe I've got big balls and don't realize it. I don't know, but I don't know. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's pretty interesting. So I have no idea what to think about that. But I've seen this ad pop up. And I've never watched the whole ad until now. I decided, that would be great to react to that. So this is my first reaction video. And this video was balls to the walls, literally. I mean, unbelievable. And like I've said, who the hell wants bigger balls? I don't. Could you imagine if they got so big you couldn't walk? You'd just be bang, 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 bang. I mean, it's ridiculous. And you can swim longer if you take you'll be able to swim longer. So, to me, this was a way of saying Viagra without saying it. But anyway, guys, that's the official video. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Give this video a thumbs up. Toodles.